Please, if you don't know who I am and you are here for the first time, then check out my videos and check out my blogs that I write. Just do a little Google. Tina Heals. I create a lot of original, exclusive, esoteric content. So please do check that out. Check my Instagram, my Twitter. Very shortly I will be active on Patreon, so check my workout. But that is besides the point. I am here to talk to you about the 12 astrological signs as lovers. I am also a relationship coach, but that is not the reason why I'm doing this only. I'm doing this because I have so many emails that come to me telling me that, okay, Tina, what is the astrology of love? What are the implications of sun signs together, this and that? So to answer all that query, I've made a video already called Relationship Astrology. So go to my video list and you can check that out, okay? That'll give you a good idea as to what you need to look as good relationship markers between two people. But this is slightly different. This is about the 12 astrological signs as lovers. Now, before I begin, I want you to know one thing, that it's okay to consider yourself your sun sign, like how we say that I'm a Leo because my sun is in 0 degrees of Leo and I'm born on the 23rd of July. So that makes me a Leo in the common understanding, but that is a very small part of your horoscope. So there's a video that I'm going to do detailing the whole sun, moon, ascendant. But for love, especially for love, I would say that the moon sign is the most important component of a love relationship. So if you are looking at discovering in the most rudimentary sense if someone is compatible with you, then you need to understand their moon signs. Okay, then of course there are Venus signs and then there are Mars signs, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to talk about the 12 astrological signs as lovers, but look at them as your moon sign. For instance, my sun is in Leo, but my moon is in Pisces. So when I understand the signs as lovers, I need to understand the Pisces energy more, because I've already mentioned this, but I'll give you a brief context. A moon sign is what we need in a relationship, okay? And if our moon signs are not compatible, even the element like water to water is best, fire to fire, amazing, fire to air, acceptable, fire to earth, problematic, okay? Earth to air, problematic, earth to water, amazing, very good synergy, very good flow of energy. So now what I want you guys to understand is that each sign is very different and they're ruled by different elements, they have different components. So in the most simplified way, I will bring to you how each sign behaves as lovers, okay? But you can check your sun sign, as I said, although you should check your moon sign and your ascendant first before your sun sign. The sun is your exterior self, you know. So in a relationship, it's difficult to understand the sun in that context. So if I'm a Leo sun, I don't need to pay so much attention to that as much as I need to understand my moon sign and what my moon wants. Okay, my moon wants a water sign man. Okay, so now starting off with Aries. Now Aries is a fire sign, male, cardinal changes. It's not a fixed sign, okay? It starts off the zodiacal wheel, and it's the first sign on which the soul begins to take shape and begins to go from this internalized stage into the external state of manifestation. So Aries people are direct, they are leaders, they like to take charge, they like to be in control in a relationship. They're very spontaneous, they're very adventurous, they like it crazy, they don't like routine, they don't like boredom. Okay, so if you are say a Virgo moon, then you might find an Aries moon person slightly challenging, because you will not understand, you in your steadfast Virgo, keeping the details in mind, doing little things first, will not understand the out of out of context, bravado, rambunctious energy of Aries. So, if you're a Leo moon, on the contrary, you might understand an Aries moon much better, because then you have that fiery vibe to you. You understand, it's like your sister sign, you know, those Sag, but still Aries, like still a fellow fire sign. Now, moving on to Taurus. Taurus is the second sign, earth, feminine, fixed. Now, Taurus people are slow. They don't like to go fast. They don't like to break the narrative. They don't like to pursue you with ferocity. They like to take it slow. They want to see if you are interested in them. Now, for Taurus, beauty is very important, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. Like Aries, action is important, ruled by Mars. Okay, so with Taurus, this need for beauty, for harmony is very important. So if you are a Taurian, or you have a Taurian lover, then you have to understand that you have to make them feel safe. You have to make them feel secure in a relationship. You have to, even in some cases, you might be the person who might need to initiate contact with your Taurus lover, because they take things so slowly that sometimes they just don't want to move, you know. So, but they're very loyal. Once they are committed, a Taurian will rarely ever leave his marriage or his commitment. They are fixed, they are in it for the long haul, and they're ready to put in the work that needs to be put in, you know. So Taurus, if you have your moon in Taurus, then you might want to find a woman with a moon in Capricorn, or with a moon in Cancer, or with a moon in Pisces. Then you can do really well, you know, you can really do well. You'll understand that synergy between water to water, between earth to earth, or between earth and water, you know. Leo, Sag, I see a bit of a clash over there between the moon signs. Now, moving on to the third sign, which is Gemini. And Gemini is notorious for not committing. So, and Gemini is an air sign, masculine air sign. So, Gemini is the third house of communication, by the way. So, they're all about communicating, chitter chatter, mental sign, intellectual. Geminis don't have much depth, and they may be swinging back and forth from one person to the other, not because they're maliciously trying to harm you, but because they're not sure. They feel something today, and it might just change. Okay, you might hold their attention now, but it might change. Okay, so with Gemini, they are not sure, and they're always in the state of movement, in the state of flux. Is it this, is it that? So that could be a bit of a problem for a Taurus moon, say, for instance. But an Aquarius moon will be able to handle it, because Aquarian is an air sign too. So they'll be like, okay, great. I get where you're coming from, you know. So Gemini lovers, if you want your Gemini man to commit, you have to listen to him, because he wants to talk. And you have to make him feel like what he says is funny. Geminis are known to have a sense of humor. They're quite funny people. So you have to laugh at his jokes if you want him to be interested in you, and make a commitment. You have to laugh at his jokes. You have to understand that sometimes he may lose his train of thought while communicating, or he may be on his phone, or he may be uploading memes non-stop on Facebook. But you have to understand that a Gemini's essential inherent need is to communicate. So they have to do that. That's a part of their soul journey. So keep that in mind if you have a Gemini lover. Now moving to the fourth sign, which is Cancer, and the sign of the mother, the sign of the womb, a feminine sign, water sign. Cancer is all about the fourth house, which is the house of family. So if you're a Cancer moon, family is very, very important to you. The family you call your own, then the family you will make. So being with someone who is a Gemini may not work for you, but being with someone who's a Taurian may. Because Taurians also have this inherent need for stability and foundation. Cancer is very swayed by their mother. So you might want to look at if your man is a Cancer moon, or he has his Mars in Cancer. He may be a mummy's boy. Okay, so that's something to look at with Cancer. But they're very, very empathic, very compassionate, very intuitive, very dreamy. Quite possessive, actually, if you ask me. They're quite possessive. They're quite possessive in the quite passive aggressive way, okay, the Cancer. But they are committed. They like to be with you for the long term. They don't just want to get into a relationship and dump you tomorrow. They want to keep working at it. They want to have children. Having children is very important to Cancer. So a man with a Cancer in Cancer moon or Mars in Cancer may want his woman to be pregnant numerous times. He will really enjoy pregnancy as well. So that was a bit on Cancer. Now moving on to Leo, the fire sign, male. The fifth house, creativity, passion, love, romance. So for Leo, things are always over the top. If you have your moon in Leo, you want things grand. You want the Lamborghini Aventador. You want to go pick up your woman with a big rock. You want to take to the best places, do the best things. That's what your Leo lover really wants to do. Okay, if he has his moon in Leo, he's going to be very outgoing, social, extrovert. He's going to be very dramatic in love. He's going to be jealous, and he'll want you to be jealous. So if you have a Leo lover, then act jealous even if you're not, because that will not only spice things up for you in the bedroom, it's going to get him really super excited that you're jealous. There's something about Leo men. They love it when their women get jealous about over them, okay? So that is the Leo energy. They are very artistic, very original, very creative. They like to kiss. The solar plexus is ruled by Leo. So they're really like, Cancer is ruled by the breast, by the way. Cancer rules the breasts, okay? So for Cancer moon people, the breast is very important. It's a very, very important aspect of lovemaking. So for the Leo, kissing and long dates where you just romantically gaze into each other's eyes and do things like that is very important. Gifts, very important. Leo likes to give gifts and likes to receive gifts, okay? Leo likes a Leo moon man will like his woman to be a glam goddess. A Leo moon woman will want her man to be sexy as hell, okay? She's not gonna go for you if you're just some ordinary 9 to 5. She's just not gonna. Even if she looks at you, she will lose interest. So a Leo wants ideally someone who is glamorous, sexy, sensual. Sensuality is a big part of Leos, but not in the physical sense like Taurians. For a Leo, and not in the sense that Aquarians see it and the all happening intellectually, but for the Leo, things are more like imagine a snapshot of a film. A Leo likes to create a film in his mind and likes to watch it and likes to plan every move, plan the smells, plan what they'll do. For a Leo, hair is very important, by the way, the mane of the lion. So keep that in mind if you have a Leo lover, okay? Keep your hair nice, and he's gonna be just, lost over there. Okay, now moving on to Virgo. Now, Virgo is the sixth sign. Sixth house is your everyday activities, your work, your health, and Virgo rules your health. So, and they're very different from the sign that precedes them, Leo. They are into detail, like Leo's into the broad aspect, broad picture, the big picture. Virgos are into the little details. They like to express. A Virgo moon person will express their love in little ways, by doing things for you, by cooking for you, by cleaning for you, and they want to hear you praise them. Virgos, it's very important for them, because otherwise they can be very judgmental, and they can be very over analytical. So if you have a Virgo lover, understand that judgment just goes with that sign. So work with that. Don't take it personally. In fact, if you speak with your Virgo, they're ready to listen. They're very good with trying to understand how your everyday life can be made better, because Virgos are here to serve. Funnily, it is also the house of servants, so they are here to serve. So they want to know how they can serve you better. So that's one aspect of Virgo, and they like little details. If you pay attention to the little details, you can really impress your Virgo lover. They are very, very solid and dependable people. Virgo is an earth sign. Okay, a feminine earth sign. Virgo comes from the Vestal Virgins. Now, virgin has been distorted. Virgin does not mean a woman who's not had a sexual awakening. Virgin means a woman who's sexually empowered and not subservient to any man. So patriarchy perverted that concept and has given us what virginity means today, but it is not the case. The Virgo virgin is a woman who is empowered sexually and can heal you with her sexuality. So that is the power of Virgo. Now, moving on to Libra, which is the next sign, the seventh sign, seventh house of relationships, partnerships. So for Libra, a relationship is very important because it's the seventh house, right? So Librans need to understand the world through relationships, okay? They need to experience relationships, and they're also ruled by Venus, like Taurus, okay? And so they need, by the way, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, but actually Virgo is ruled by Trans-Neptunian, which is again another video that I'm going to get into on rulerships, and I'm going to be speaking a bit about the exoteric and esoteric rulerships of each planet and each sign and how it works with our energies. But that's that. But so Libra is ruled by Venus. So things of beauty mean a lot to Libra. Your Libra lover will take great pride in his appearance. Just like your Leo lover, if you had a Leo lover, they take great pride in their appearance. They want to appear perfect. But with Libra, there's always this passive-aggressive energy that's happening, like they can't really ever voice their opinion because they are, this is the sign of diplomacy, being passive and making peace. So they can't create conflict. They're always looking to resolve the conflict, Librans, in fact. If you have a Libra moon and you find this Scorpio man, a Scorpio moon man who's creating all this heavy problems, deep, festering, deep psyche issues, you don't want to deal with that, okay? You don't want to deal with that if you're a Libra moon. You want more of the Gemini, more of the fun, humor, more of the Leo will work well, but Leo Librans do tend to make a good match. I've seen that. Librans need you to feel good. They also want you to feel good. So oftentimes a Libra will place your happiness before theirs. But that doesn't mean you should not be looking at what your Libra man wants, because he is probably not going to open up and tell you if you don't ask him, if you don't probe. You need to probe. If you're a Scorpio moon girl, then you will probe. You will find out, what is it? What makes you tick? So with the Librans, I've also seen that there is this energy of submissiveness. They like to be submissive in bed, Librans, a lot of that. It's quite interesting, but Librans like that. And so submission comes naturally to Librans because they always want to pacify you, So if you're not sure whether your Libran man likes what you do or not, then have a conversation. They may get uncomfortable, and don't put them in a corner, never do that. But have an open conversation, just see what works and what doesn't, what works for you both. So that was Libra. Now moving into the 8th sign of Scorpio. Now Scorpio is the most sexual sign because Scorpio rules your reproductive system, your reproductive organs, your vagina, your penis, your testicles, your scrotum, your vulva, your labia. It's all ruled by Scorpio. My ovaries, my womb. And this gives Scorpio the power of birth and death. Rebirth and death, birth, okay? So from Scorpio, the soul swims in the murky seas of the unconscious. Scorpio is known to be the sign of the unconscious, okay? In its first manifestation, of course, we take it to Pisces, the ultimate 12th house vibration, but Scorpio is very deep, very intuitive, very profound. A Scorpio lover will know if you're lying to them, even if he hasn't been there. So if you were out partying with the girls and you kissed a guy and your man has Scorpio moon, then in all probability he's going to know by just looking at your face. Okay, so if you're I know that because my man is a Scorpio ascendant, though his moon's in Pisces like mine, but he wants to know everything. He knows everything. Okay, if even there's someone I look at, he knows who's looking at me. He knows if I look at someone. So Scorpios are like that. They are the detectives of the zodiac. They investigate until they get to the very crux of the issue, and then they are like, hey, that happened, you looked at him. So that is your Scorpio man, and he's deep, he's profound. He wants pleasure, but he also wants to give you pleasure. He wants to make you purr, and he wants to purr too. So Scorpios can be, if they channelize the sexual energy, I have seen that Scorpio moon men can be some of the best and most intense lovers out there. But they have this plutonic control that some of them exhibit. They try to control the women they are with. So be mindful of that if you have a male moon Scorpio, Be mindful you're not being controlled, you're not being manipulated by the Scorpion, because he can be very jealous and he can really sting. He can be probably the most jealous sign of the zodiac. Scorpio man, moon man will be really interested in what you wear, and if he thinks you're showing too much of your body, he'll make you change. Okay, that's how he behaves. That's how he is, and he's going to give you 100 reasons why he said you shouldn't wear that. But that's just how he feels. That's how he thinks. He's jealous. He's extremely possessive. He's very possessive. A Leo lover is also very possessive, but I would say a Scorpio man is probably the most, or a Scorpio woman is probably the most possessive lover you can have. And if his ascendant and his Venus and his moon is in Scorpio, woohoo, triple bonanza. So but they're great lovers. They're really good in bed, okay, and they want to explore. They want to go beyond the physical. They're very good with sacred sexuality if they can really understand and harness this scorpionic potential. Pluto, whenever Pluto touches any sign of yours or activates any natal planet, it's all about sex. It's about this sex that can bring about death and rebirth, So that was Scorpio. Now moving on to Sagittarius. Wow, okay, Sagittarius, the ninth house of publishing, house of foreign travel. Now the third house, which is Gemini, is also of travel, but local travel, okay? But Sag is about philosophy. It's ruled by Jupiter, which is all about expansion. So Sag is this expansive energy, this energy that grows. So your Sag lover, he is a free animal. He does not like leash. Even if you try to put a leash and you are a Scorpio woman, put a leash but give him a really long leash, because otherwise he is going to run away. Now, Saggies are great lovers. They are very experimental, but they are not your conventional missionary 9-to-5ers, okay? They want something adventurous. They want to explore. They want adventures. They're also known to experiment a lot with sexuality, okay? Now, so this is quite a journey with moving from Scorpio, which is so possessive, to Sag, which is very open, which is very embracive. Orgies, group sex, they can fit right in, the Sages, okay? Because they don't see the physical body, though looks are important to them, but they see energy, which is so important to understand, that Sages feel energy and they have to feel free, because ninth house is about freedom. It's about expansive, open, broad vistas, okay? It's not about constriction. Nothing but Jupiter is constrictive, all right? So let your Sag lover roam, let him go. If he looks at women, if he speaks to women, and he still loves you and comes back home to you, he loves you. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here, trust me. And your Sag woman, don't try to stop her from going out with her friends. It's not going to work. She is going to go out whether you like it or not. You just let her be. If she comes back home and rings the doorbell, you know she's going to go all out for you in every sense of the term. But she needs her freedom. She needs her explorations, without which she can't expand. And Sages need to expand, guys. So interesting how each sign is so different from the other. Now, from Sag, I move on to Capricorn, Earth, feminine, the 10th house. 10th house of career, midheaven, prestige. Caps are all about finding success in the material world. Now, Caps are ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is constrictive, the very opposite of Jupiter. So if you've got your moon in Capricorn, then you like boundaries. You like to know where you're headed. You like to know what your man is bringing home. You like to know what finances are there. Finances are important to you. The house, the car, the security, the funds, they're important to you, probably the most. Taurus as well, but to you probably the most, Capricorn moons, you know. So if you have a Capricorn moon lover, then if you have to understand that he wants stability, security in the relationship, in the financial term. If his career is not going good, he's not going to be happy in his love life, because his sense of worth comes a lot from his career, your Capricorn man. You've got to praise him, you've got to inspire him, because Capricorn can get quite blockheaded and quite stubborn, if you ask me. So, but they're very, very hardcore when it comes to endurance. They can really keep at it, keep doing something, so they're very, they will be with you if they start a relationship with you. They're not going to run away, you know. They may not be as dramatic as a Leo lover or an Aries lover, but they will be solid. So if you have a Taurus moon or a Virgo moon, a Capricorn moon can do very well with yours. If you have a Scorpio moon, I would say, yeah, Capricorn moon can do very well, because you are this deep, watery, intuitive energy, and this is earth, solid security. The energy flow can really birth something new, you know, rebirth something new. So that you can always look at. But with, say, a Leo and Capricorn moons, there'll be more friction. Okay, there'll be more friction. A Capricorn will feel like a Leo is too over the top, too dramatic. You need not be that dramatic, you know. So that was, oh, by the way, sex is very important to Capricorns. They like their sexual situations. They like stimulation. They want long foreplay. They're very good at it. They want to pleasure you. They want to, and they have endurance. They can go at it. Your Capricorn man can go at it. Okay, can just go at it. He's good at it. Now that was Capricorn. Now moving on from Capricorn, we go into Aquarius, which is the 11th sign, the sign of the genius, the innovator, the eccentric. Aquarians are probably the one sign that is the most experimental in bed. If your man has his moon in Aquarius, make sure to never be like the other girls in the room, or never dress like the other girls he sees. Always be different, because an Aquarian man who has his moon in Aquarius, wants a lover who is different to what he's used to. He wants a woman who's quirky, who is innovative, who has a great sense of humor. So a Gemini woman may just work very well with an Aquarian man, you know. Aquarian likes freedom. They can get into experimentation, and they can get into different types of relationships, because the standard relationships, again, they does not work for Aquarius. Okay, they want something new, they want something different. They like fetish. They are often, Uranus is often a marker for homosexuality, by the way it's placed in the aspects, and that's quite interesting, because Uranus is the sudden thunderbolt energy, and we use the word coming out for proclaiming that you're gay. So although I think it's a ridiculous word, coming out, but it has that Uranian bolt. So a lot of BDSM, a lot of different types of relationships, polygamy, polyandry, a lot of this has Aquarius energy, and they like it. So Aquarius and Sagittarians together can create a very good and open sexual scenario. They may even get into cuckolding. They may get into wife swapping and other things like that. And for them, it's not something dirty or degraded. It's a very open and normal part of the human sexuality that they experience. Okay, so maybe a Taurus moon will be shocked at this, but they are not. They're like, okay, you know, so what? They can have a sexual experience, and then they can come back to you and be absolutely normal about life, you know. Also for Aquarians, things happen a lot intellectually. So they create the scene, they create the love, they create the idea, and oftentimes Aquarians are attracted to the idea of the person. more than the person. This can be problematic when they wake up and they're like, oh, okay, some Neptune transit just passed and here I am up, and I see that the person in front of me is not who I think he or she is. It's just my projection. I'm projecting this and I'm seeing this, but this is not reality. Although one might argue, what is reality? But let's not get into that metaphysical discussion here. Your Aquarian likes to be free, likes to be open, may not even propose so easily, not because he doesn't love you, but because he just doesn't think marriage is important, because Aquarians hate structure, hate systems. They want to innovate, although they're ruled by Saturn, but they don't like any established, any old. That's more the Capricorn vibe. Structure the way it is, marriage the way it is, the institution of marriage, everything. Capricorn loves all that. Aquarius doesn't. Saturn in this manifestation looks to go beyond the normal structures, goes beyond and sees how can you innovate with the structures we have. So an Aquarian will not praise you, or if you're a Leo, you can get disappointed because you want these compliments, but your Aquarian man may not praise you. He'll be like, you look great, why do I need to say anything? You know, that's what my man says. He's got his sun in Aquarius, he's got his Lilith in Aquarius. So he's like, you know, you look good all the time. What's the need for me to tell you anymore? So an Aquarian man thinks like that. He thinks you know that you're pretty, and he doesn't need to say it every single time you dress up and go out. So that's a very key component of your Aquarian. You have to understand that. And you have to get in here. If you're going to get into an Aquarian's heart, you have to get in here. Very important. Now, the last sign, the most mystical sign, the 12th house, Pisces, ruled by Neptune, the higher octave of Venus. Oh, by the way, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So there's a tremendous synergy that happens between Aquarius and Gemini, okay? And now Venus rules Libra and Taurus. And the higher octave of Venus is Neptune, that rules Pisces. And for Pisces, both the exoteric and the esoteric ruler is Venus. Neptune, the higher octave of Venus. So this with Pisces, the love is always very symbolic, very romantic, very dreamy. By the way, Neptune rules cinema. So the quintessential film star diva is Pisces. So their love life, they like kissing, they like romance, they like to walk under the starry skies, and you can hold their hands and you can kiss them and you can love them, and you know, you can do so much with your Pisces. And they like you to be soft, they like you to be you know, not just physical. For them, love is spiritual. Even if it's a one-night stand for a Pisces, you know, their love is spiritual. And they want to experience that through mysticism. Sacred sexuality and Tantra actually is very, very good for Pisces people to practice. You can really get them in touch with their sexuality and really help them work through whatever issues they have. Pisces loves to dress up. They, like Leos, also love to dress up, of course. Librans are ruled by Venus. Taurus as well, but they have that more earthy look to them. But Pisces has this surreal Neptunian feel. And if you are a Pisces moon person, a Pisces moon man or woman, then try to find a Pisces moon a man or woman, whoever you date, and find someone like that, and you'll see the magic, the mysticism, the chemistry can be really deep and profound when two Pisces people make love. And the connection can be very spiritual, and you can transcend and go beyond the physical realm. So that was the 12 signs as lovers. But remember to catch them as your moon sign. Two of my cats, my boys. So be sure to catch your moon signs and your ascendant, because the sun sign is not so important when it comes to love and relationships. So that was that. See you soon. Be around for my next video, and subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you for being with me on this journey. See you. Bye.